Swedish with Joanna, a podcast for beginners. Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're doing okay, wherever you're listening from. Today's episode is another special episode. Not a language lesson in the traditional sense, but a cultural one. In December, I've been sharing a series of special episodes based on a bilingual book I've written about Swedish Christmas and winter traditions. Not the polished postcard versions, but the real roots, the more uncomfortable layers and the questions we rarely ask. So this episode is about something we call Advent and the Advent calendar. About waiting, about light, and about how something that once meant stillness slowly turned into distraction. So in a moment here I will read the short story from my bilingual book in English, but the story and the text is available both in English and Swedish. So grab a snack, get something to drink, get cozy, relax, and enjoy. In the darkness before Christmas, candles begin to light, one by one. 4 candles, 4 weeks, 4 steps toward something we call peace. But the peace isn't here yet. It's always soon. And perhaps that's what we're really celebrating, the waiting itself. Advent or Advent once meant arrival, waiting for the Christ child. But long before that, people waited for the sun. They lit fires each day, not for faith, but to remember the light that would return. Each Sunday, a new candle, each flame, a promise. But what are we waiting for today? Not Christ, not the sun, perhaps just the feeling of meaning. And then came the Advent calendar, our modern form of waiting. Once filled with pictures and small stories. Now filled with chocolate, cosmetics, and marketing. Each window promises something new, something better. As if joy could be bought in small doses, 24 times in a row. But perhaps that's what defines our age. We no longer know how to wait, only how to distract ourselves. We've turned patience into a product, and stillness into a problem. And while we count the days until Christmas Eve, we often miss what we were really waiting for, the calm in the present. So when you light the 4th candle, ask yourself, are you moving towards something or away from something? Because perhaps Advent isn't waiting at all, but a reminder that the light is already here. Advent is often described as calm, but most people today experience it as pressure. We light candles, yet rush more than ever. We count days, yet feel further away from peace. So maybe the question isn't what we're waiting for, but why we're so uncomfortable with waiting at all. If nothing arrived at the end of Advent, no holiday, no celebration, no reward, would the waiting still matter? And if silence makes us uneasy, what does that say about the way we live today? It's almost time to wrap up today's episode, but before that, I just want to make a quick note about my bilingual book. The text you just heard comes from a bilingual ebook I've created, designed as a learning tool, not just something to read, but something to think with. There are 2 versions available, one entirely in English and one entirely in Swedish. Both are structured like reflective textbooks, combining history, culture, language, and questions meant to slow you down. And of course, there is pictures. They're available on my Patreon for those who want to explore Swedish traditions, focused on winter and Christmas traditions. It also includes vocabulary lists for each short story, and the whole purpose I made this book is to make it more fun to learn Swedish, while you also explore Swedish culture, history, and our winter and Christmas traditions. And with that said, it's time to wrap up today's episode. Thank you so much for listening, guys. If you enjoy my work and want to support my podcast, you can always become a member on Patreon. On Patreon, you'll get access to all the vocabulary lists and transcripts for each episode. Also, remember, before the next candle is lit, take a moment to sit with the silence. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye bye. Hej då!